Life as a teacher can be particularly tough during the autumn term. New children, new expectations, new challenges, especially if you're an NQT like Vicky Rutherford and Simrit Riad, Year 3 teachers at a large inner-city school who are now approaching the end of their first term. With over 600 pupils, space can be at a premium. Simrit has a classroom in the main building, but Vicky is in a separate block. Education expert Sue Cowley will share more teaching techniques with Vicky, including looking at her working environment, a terrapin classroom.
Welcome to my classroom.
Okay.
Vicky's found organising space for her 30 Year 3 children a bit of a challenge.
What we could do is experiment a bit with the furniture.
Yeah.
Because often, you know, you don't really want to be lugging the furniture around yourself.
Mm.
And actually, if you're on your own, I'd advise do a paper plan first.
Okay.
But seeing there's the three of us, let's go.
Another Year 3 colleague, also teaching in the terrapin, has arranged her desks in rows. Vicky wants to find out if the same arrangement of furniture would work more effectively in her classroom.
Shift the whole thing down.
Okay.
Come.
With a fixed carpet area and such a small space, there's not much room for manoeuvre.
Victoria, what do you think? It's interesting, isn't it, actually?
It gives it more space at the front of the classroom, but I still don't like the idea of them being
Of them being long ways.
Yeah.
So you'd feel a bit uncomfortable teaching them like that?
I don't think
Especially
there's
with all
enough space
those
in
now.
between anyway.
Yeah, so these two would back into each other. So we've tried that. Not 100% happy with that, Vicky, and if it doesn't work for you, then it just doesn't work.
Okay.
Let's try a horseshoe shape now. What I think we should do is bring these tables as far back as we can get them to about here.
Okay.
Because I don't think you need to worry, because when they're on the carpet, they're on the carpet. When they're at their desks, then they can actually impinge into this area.
Okay.
And if we can fit a block of tables in the middle, let's give that a try, okay? So if we pull these ones back first, so we establish how much space we can get. It almost works.
I'm not sure the children can access their books or their work properly.
It's an interesting experiment, though, isn't it? Because what it does show you is that there's the possibility to move the furniture around for certain activities. So let's say one day you decided you want to do a whole class debate. It's not going to work on the carpet, it's not going to work in groups at desks, but there is space to do this.
Yeah, we can
and perhaps squash them around, get rid of a few desks and squash them around a bit. So I think don't be afraid to move the furniture around and experiment. And I mean, again, Simrit, in your space, you know, it's about experimenting to see what's going to work for you.
So, after the furniture experiment and with the desks back where they were to begin with, it's time for Sue to join Vicky and the children in the classroom. Vicky starts the lesson by asking one of her children to recall the data she collected from her survey of the school's favourite sports.
First I went around and asked some people what are their favourite. Then when I came back to if they liked it, I put a line, and then if the other person liked it, I put another line, 4 lines. Then when it comes, if 5 people like it, you put a line like a diagonally.
Excellent. So every time you get to 5, you put your diagonal line. What were those words called? What we were collecting? Tallies. You were collecting tallies, weren't you? Good girl.
To take the learning a stage further, Vicky's going to ask the class to represent their tallies in a pictogram.
1, 0. Okay, what did I want to do today and why? Hassan?
A pictogram.
I wanted to make a pictogram. Can anyone remember what I asked you to think about? Read one.
Put pictures on it.
So I'm asking you to think about what pictures we could use. Okay.
And now I'm going to take over. I'm going to do a quick exercise. Listen really carefully. Everybody giving me their eyes, looking at me, so I can hypnotise you. Now, What I'm going to do is I'm going to say a sport, I'm going to clap my hands. On the first clap, if you like that sport best, you stand up, and then on the second clap, you sit back down. So, what happens on the first clap?
Football.
No, what happens on the first clap?
You stand up.
Brilliant, what happens on the second clap?
Sit down.
Now I'm going to say the sport. Only stand up if you like the sport. Football. Now Miss Rutherford's going to do one.
Swimming.
Oh,
Oh, I can hear some noise.
I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go. And then you're going to talk to your talk partner and you're going to have about 30 seconds to come up with a good picture for your sport. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Have another chat about it.
The short activity break has refocused the children's attention and brought them back on task. With Sue's help, let's see how Vicky manages to keep the class engaged when they later split into groups.
OK. Brilliant, you're so quick. Fantastic. Now I'm looking for 2 volunteers who are sitting so beautifully. You are sitting really well. What's your name?
Hassan.
Hassan, come and help me out. And let's get a little...
Engaging the children as helpers focuses the class on thinking up pictograms.
Can you hold up your one? In fact, give it a blow. Oh! A whistle is good for any sport, isn't it? Whereas a football would only be a good symbol, it's called, a symbol for football. So anybody think of something like a whistle? What did you have? A medal, did you have? I think you said to me. Anybody have something like a medal? What did you...
bell.
A bell? That's a good one. Anybody have something different? Don't worry, you had a thing. A cup. That's a good one, isn't it? Because you win a cup. Now, Miss Rutherford, do we want to choose one that they're all going to use, or do we want to let them think about it themselves?
I think we can let them think about it themselves.
Yeah. So you might use a whistle, you might use a cup, you might use a medal.
The first thing you need to do, Zabil, is put your name on and put the sports names in. And then you are drawing your pictogram. You can choose one of these symbols, but whatever you choose, it has to go in each box. So you can't have one medal, one cup, one whistle. If you're using the whistle, you use the whistle all the way through. Does everyone understand what we're doing? Okay, look at the clock, everyone. What's the time? Put the hands up and tell me the time, Mohamed. 9:30. You've got 7 minutes, okay? 7 minutes.
OK, now at this point, you set them off on task. You're a bit concerned because the time is quite short, because we've taken a little bit longer than usual. But I'd still advise you to step back and just have a quick overview before you home in on individuals, because otherwise you'll be sitting with one kid who doesn't understand, and there might be 3 or 4 others who are sat there kind of staring into space.
Okay.
So take that overview and then pinpoint maybe 3 or 4. I can help you go to those individuals. So let's have an overview now, OK? Then I'll work at this end of the room. You whiz round, but don't spend more than about 30 seconds with an individual. If they're still not getting it, ask the person sitting next to them
to explain.
Explain, so you can get round to them.
That's fine.
OK?
How many children like football? 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Good boys, you've done it. Nafisa, you got onto this. If there were 4 children who like something, how many cups would you draw? 4. 4 to start with, and then you started drawing.
So, how does Vicky think her class has done? And how does Sue think Vicky has got on?
Did you see in the lesson when I jumped in and I was talking to them, I kind of hammed it up a bit to overemphasise it?
Yeah.
Did you see how I was like going... And if you bring that tone into your face as well, I think that's something that you can take on from developing the voice and start bringing it into your face. Yeah. The other thing I think that you can maybe pick up is the eye contact thing.
Yeah,
Did you see how they were all like, oh, looked at you?
Yeah.
And they were brilliant at it. And it's just, they get into that habit of eyes on you, and that just ensures that they focus.
Yeah.
Did you feel today that because you set the task very clearly, there wasn't too much off task, actually?
No, they were care.
They settle
Just
to
the
it
odd
quite quickly.
Couple, and there's one boy who just likes you to be with him all the time, so
Yeah.
he's always going to ask questions whether he understands or not, because he likes you to check. But no, I think most of them were.
And I know you were looking for behaviour strategies, but to be honest, there's no major behaviour issues here. For an NQT, you're doing a really great job.
Our NQTs, Vicky and Simrit, joined forces for the end-of-term production.
About 2,000 years ago, in the town of Nazareth, there lived a young woman named Mary. She was engaged to be married to Joseph, a carpenter. One day, an angel appeared before her and told her she had been chosen to have a special baby.
So how does the school judge its NQTs' progress so far?
It's been a pleasure really having Victoria and Simrit being their induction mentor. They've done really well this term. They've started well, and all the targets they've been given, they've really built on those targets and put them into practice in their classroom straight away.
Excuse me, do you have any room? Sorry, I do have no room.
I think the first term work, they have taken it on board, given their 100%. I haven't heard a single moan. They haven't been feeling can't do it, and gone away and fretted about it and worried about it. They've gone away to find out who can help, where can we go, how can we improve, and that is really good in an NQT.
They're actually very confident teachers, which has surprised me this early in the year to be coming out with such good lessons. So I'm really pleased with their progress. They've done really well.
They did not fight and see that he was safe.
Well done, Sophia. It's really good. It's coming really good. Yes, excellent.
And what do Vicky and Simrit have to say about their first term?
It's just been really hectic, really busy. I was expecting it to be busy, but not so much all the other paperwork as well as that we didn't have in teaching practice. But I'm really enjoying it now. I know the children and I really care about my class and where they're going.
And how about you, Simrit? What's your high point this term?
Definitely knowing that the children know who I am and they know that I'm their teacher, and just having that relationship with them. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? And how would you say you've progressed? Let's start with you, Vicky.
Getting to know the children, my behaviour strategies, I know that they need changing because they do get stale, and different behaviour strategies work on different children and getting to know them. So I'm pleased with my progress in that.
And when I'm training teachers, I often say to them, you have to find your teacher. You have to put on your teacher in your own kind of personal way of being a teacher, your own style of being a teacher. Do you feel like you've found your teacher yet? Your inner teacher? Do you think you're getting there?
Yeah, I think I'm finding it. Yeah.
You're finding your feet?
Yeah.
And how about some targets? What else are you going to work on? What are you going to work on next term, Vicky? You just want the holidays, don't you? Give me a holiday. Ask me on the 5th of January and I'll have a think.